The top 10 Wii U games of 2013. Hello guys, welcome back to the review space, and today I want to talk about the top 10 highest ranked, highest rated Metascore games on the Wii U. The releases that only came out this year for Nintendo's latest console. And actually it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to include both the user and the Metascores in the same basic category. I'm going to sort of combine them. So, for example, if a game has a negative user score but a really high Metascore, something like, Skylanders, which has like a 90-something meta, but only like a 5.7 user, I'm not going to count that because that one is very uneven, so it doesn't count if the fans didn't like it that much, but the official reviewers are completely riding it. It doesn't count to me, I think you gotta count the ones that both the users and the official reviewers actually thought of very highly and ranked really highly. Alright, without further ado, number 1 is Super Mario 3D World. Coming in at number 1, got a Metascore of 94 out of 100, very high, and a user score of 8.9. Came out in November 2013. This is a platforming classic, and this is a basic action Nintendo game classic, an exclusive, and a 94 out of 100 can't get much higher than that, and the fans really took to this game as well. Very well received game. Coming in at number 2 is Rayman Legends with a 91 out of 100 and an 8.5 user score. So very good scores. Definitely something worth checking out. Probably the best Rayman game in many years. Came out back in September of 2013. Coming in at number 3, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, the re-release. Granted, it's definitely the oldest game on this particular list. It's basically just a re-release, that's it, in HD format. Has a 90 out of 100 Metascore and an 8.7 user score. It's a GameCube classic from 2 generations ago. Came out in September 2013. You should at least try to give this game a chance. I mean, it is one of those classic titles from back in the day, and if you never played it on the original GameCube, you might want to check it out now. Coming in at number 4 is Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. Has a Metascore of 88 out of 100 and a user score of 8.4. Very strong scores. Came out in October 2013. It's the director's cut of Deus Ex. This game's already been released in other systems, but you might want to give this one a look. It's one of the more kind of mature theme games, and it's one of the more serious games. It's not so kiddified. It's not so cartoonish. It's one of the more sci-fi. It's Deus Ex. I mean, if you've ever played the original Deus Ex and enjoyed sort of the RPG elements of that, first-person shooter sci-fi kind of thing with the whole conspiracy elements of it, you might want to give Deus Ex Human Revolution for the Wii U a chance. Coming in at number 5 is Pikmin 3. 87 out of 100 Metascore. Very strong scores for the third installment in the Pikmin series. User score of 8.5. Very well-received game. Came out in August 2013. I never heard actually too much about Pikmin 3, which is kind of strange. I mean, there was a lot of build-up when it was announced, but as far as the community when it was released, and the big buzz around it, I just never really, this might be one of the more underrated titles of the year. This could be one of those games that was just basically slept on by a lot of people. Number 6, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag with an 87 out of 100. Granted, the user score isn't as high with a 7.8, but it's still worth checking out if you still want that Assassin's Creed experience. This is considered one of the better Assassin's Creed installments in the series after several years now. Came out in October of 2013. Coming in at number 7, arguably the most underrated game of the year, Wonderful 101. The Wonderful 101 coming in at number 7 with 78 out of 100, user score of 8.3 though, so the fans really took to this game and really like it more than the actual official reviewers did. The professional reviewers gave it a 78. Came out in September 2013. Seems like it was overshadowed by other releases, like, you know, GTA 5, for example, just completely, with its brand name and the hype behind it, just completely outshadowed Wonderful 101. Coming in at number 8 is Edge, which is basically a small game. Got a score of 84 out of 100 and a user score of 8.0. It's basically like a puzzle game, basically. It's like a block game, and it has an isometric perspective. Came out in November of 2013. You might want to check this out as a downloadable type of game. Smaller game. Coming in at number 9 is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Came out back in March 2013. Has a score of 82 out of 100. 82. But a user score of 8.1. Very, very close. So it's like right up there. You know, it's like people are basically enjoying this title. It's like a well-received game. It's definitely something that you should check out because it's got that Monster Hunter style. Alright, you got these giant monsters, these giant creatures, and this is basically like what I would imagine Pokemon would be like if Pokemon was taken more seriously and more like realistic kind of thing. You know, I like the Monster Hunter franchise. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, the whole fighting the monsters and everything like that. It's like an RPG, action RPG, I should say. Coming in at number 10 is Lego Marvel Super Heroes, with an 82 out of 100 and a user score of 8.5. Came out in October 22nd, 2013. And just to round out this list, Lego Marvel Super Heroes actually well received by users, more than the actual Metascore. So another one of those titles that might be considered an underrated title. You might want to check this one out for the younger audience. And this year has been very thin, kind of a lean year for the Wii U console. Not as many titles that came out. I think that's probably going to change by next year. I mean, you got these other titles coming out, like the Smash Brothers and a Mario Kart title, all these other titles. It's just a matter of time, you know. I think just Nintendo needs to get rolling here. And I think it started with the latter, you know, couple of months of 2013, like with 3D World coming out. Now you know it's on. They're gonna come out with a Zelda game. Hopefully they come out with a freaking Metroid game. I mean, you know, you gotta have one of those. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a Wii U top 10.